Freedom 35, 5, 5, 5.
Dude, start the podcast.
Wow.
Recording, Gordon?
Recording, Gordon.
All right, guys. Well, welcome back to Freedom 35ers, Cardano NFT podcast, episode 11, first episode of 2022. Happy New Year's, boys.
Happy New Year's.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Welcome back, everybody, to the show. For all our returning viewers, and then for all of our new guys that just kind of followed us here this week or just jumping into this new podcast for the year. My name is Tommy. I go by TOMMY.
My name is TJ. I go by Lazy T.
And I am the other Tom. I go by Lavish Bear.
And tonight, Lazy Bear.
Yeah, on Zoom, yeah.
On Zoom right over here.
Not going from TJ, yeah, shared a little bit.
TJ, instead of Lazy T, he is period tonight.
Just one dot. I try to make it blend in with the dot or the stars of the background.
I was looking at my screen. Is that a pixel right there? Like, what is that?
Damn it.
Right. Oh no, guys, welcome back. We're back 2022. It's brand new year. Oh my dude, we took a week off and it felt like, I don't know, a month for me over here. It was crazy. So much had happened. Christmas and then New Year's, went on vacation, got engaged this trip over the past New Year.
Congratulations.
Thanks, dude. That was a fun experience, and it was nice to get a little time away. Even though I was still staring at my phone the entire time, and she was looking at me like, "What are you doing over here?" But it was a fun trip for us. And then Tom,
keep up with the spaces, right?
Dude, I jumped in a few spaces even during that time, so it was fun.
I literally texted you one time. I was like, "Aren't you on vacation? Why are you?"
I know. Stuff? I had so much time though. It was so much fun. It's like one of those things where you're away from work, but here it was like jumping right back into it. It was a lot of fun to kind of catch up and get to interact with a lot of people. It was I don't know. It was a fun time for me. And then Christmas came, and I don't know if anybody's watching the podcast right now, but check out our F35 merch. Official. We're official for the first time tonight. We'll get some prototypes for merchandise. That was actually a fun story. I opened up one of my gifts from my parents on Christmas, and no, t-shirt box, nothing fun, crazy. I'm just, what is this? All right, cool. Open it up, and boom, the F35 shirt came out, and they're like, Merry Christmas. I honestly felt like a kid again for the first time. It was like one of those unexpected gifts that you got, and I was like, oh, that's actually awesome. Like, it was really cool. And then
that was a huge surprise. I wasn't expecting that. When you sent the picture, I wasn't expecting that at all.
No, it was actually really.
I was
really
jealous
cool
when I saw the picture.
I know. I texted them, and then my dad was like, TJ's got one too, and then Tom, we got one from him as well. So I kind of threw it out there to you guys and waited for that surprise. That was awesome of them to go ahead and we got the official Freedom 35ers, the first merchandise. We got some t-shirts out here. So,
well, then TJ, you got a tumbler too, right?
Yeah. Well, my brother made them, and I saw the tumbler first. I was like, "What? How did you?" Because I haven't told him about it at all, or anyone in my family yet. Now they all know, of course, about the podcast and stuff. But then I saw the tumbler first, and then I was like, "Damn, Tommy got a T-shirt." And then I see the bag next to him, like, "Oh, sweet, I got one too." Did not expect that at all. Like, that was literally a complete curveball. Which I was, just like Tommy said, I was probably very excited for that one more than my other gifts.
I know. It was super fun. It was awesome to me that like all of our parents had because again, we've known each other for 15, 20 years, and all of our parents talk to each other and coordinate that whole thing out. So it was awesome that the three of them, they were supporting us in that way too. Because again, this thing kind of just started up for us last year as just an idea, something for fun, and we just started recording. And now here we are on our 11th episode, technically our 12th for our A1 since day one, our OGs out there. But yeah, dude, if you look at our episode 0 from last year and back in October, our testing thing, it's like everybody's got a different background. My microphone sounds horrible on there. Like it was crazy to see the evolution of where we kind of came from and where we're at even today.
I sent you links after that first episode. I was like, "Here, buy this camera, buy this."
Dude, yeah, it was so bad. Yeah, I was using the Discord mic. Yeah, the mic on my headphones right here. So no, we're legit right now. I don't know if anybody can see that. Sick. All right, tight.
But no, we were talking, looking at some of the old clips, just because it was the new year coming up and we took that last week off. We're kind of going over some old stuff, and I had not looked back. I can't believe how different it was. Those episode 0, episode 1, completely different.
Oh, it's so crazy because we were so stone faced and so professional, and we were just out there talking about it. We wanted to be so serious, and then now look at us, we're just fucking bullshitting around over here, having a good time, and that's kind of what this is about over here. It's for everybody who's kind of jumping in, this will drop on Fridays. We release every Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. for anybody new tuning into us. And we kind of are just three average guys inside the CNFT space who got into it a little bit, I got into it August of last year. And I know TJ and Tom, I think it was about September for you guys.
Yep.
Jumping into it. So we kind of jumped in as just mentors ourselves and started talking about it every day through group chat. And finally we got to the point where like, we should start a podcast, just like every other normal conversation everybody does. And we actually ended up doing it, and it kind of took off a little bit. So it was fun. And here we are jumping into a new year, and we're starting to get involved with the space. We've got some followers, and I'm just excited to kind of talk with you guys. We got some big plans for this year, and it's just going to be an exciting time from what I'm seeing right now. That's for sure. But even running it right now, it feels like 2022, dude. It's starting out strong. Dude, it feels like we're in a CNFT bull market right now.
On fire.
Dude, it is crazy.
I'm loving
right
it.
Now. Like,
loving it.
It is
a lot of projects are just the floor of all of them are just increasing massively, which is great to see.
Well, the volume too has gone up crazily over this last few days. I don't know if anybody, again, for us, we're over here resource wise. OpenCNFT.io seems to be one of the staple websites that I go to go ahead and check, all the prices and all the different projects, what they're doing, sales volume, and all that stuff. But I mean, if you look, mostly everything that's here right now within the top like 20 of these things, it's in the green, almost the majority, right? For the last 24 hours, the last week, everything is up right now. And there's a lot of new faces on the block that's sitting at the very top up here, which has been a big conversation and topic inside the CNFT space this past couple of weeks. I know we briefly touched on them a little bit in a couple of it. I think in episode 9 it was about the chilled Kongs.
So salty I didn't get one. Oh, I'm such a dude.
Chilled Kongs was one of the first ones, and then Boss Cat Rocket Club. I think we briefly mentioned them because we really didn't. It wasn't anything that I was expecting to do anything. Honestly, it was kind of being touted as like built off the hype of a Bored Ape, somebody who owned a Bored Ape. That was the whole concept behind it. So we kind of didn't really think anything of it, and fuck, here we are looking at Boss Cat Rocket Club. Sure. They fucking took off. I guess proved it strong. I don't know them. Maybe the methods aren't the most legit, but whatever they're doing something right because they got volume right now. That's for sure. 1.6 million ADA in the last 7 days. That's actually insane to see that stat.
Yeah, it's awesome for the Cardano community in general to see something like that, though, that takes off and that much volume in 7 days. That's crazy.
Well, I'm glad the people that bought in too, see that payoff now. It wasn't a rug pull or anything like that. So they're seeing the benefits from that too. We may not have believed in it, but never hate seeing other people do well. So that's always great.
No, I think I had we had a good conversation. I was actually on a Real Talk last night with KEWW, Cinnabon, and David King, and we were kind of discussing, how everybody felt like this was I feel like this is the big thing going on inside the community right now is, my story with, we talked about with Chilled Kongs was, we were finished the recording a podcast one night, jumped in to the OG Adanauts with Lovelace, and people started talking, hey, they're about Chilled Kongs, they're about to sell out. Go mint one. So I minted 2 of them right before they had sold out for 34 ADA. Sold one for like 70 and sold another one when it went up to 300. Thought I did well because the project dropped down to like the mid 100s. No problem with it. And then a couple weeks, and then literally I think like the last week and a half for Chilled Kongs, there's a huge community surge. I started seeing them everywhere on my timeline on Twitter. Everybody started to mention them. Profile pics started to change.
A few days straight.
Like it was big push. And then all of a sudden, dude, the floor for those things just shot up. I think at one point they were pushing like an 800-900 floor.
I thought they were gonna break 1,000.
It got that high?
Yeah.
Where'd all this ADA come from?
Dude, I think
people got ADA for Christmas or something, or the price is low, so people are buying in the dip. Because people are spending it like crazy.
Well, think about it like this, like, obviously the end of the year, a lot of people, are selling off for tax purposes and stuff. They may have been holding on to some stuff. They may have been waiting for the floodgates to kind of open into the new year. And then even the Ethereum side, we had that conversation. There's Ethereum, people are starting to discover Cardano a little bit right now, right? And here they are. I mean, those people got money on that side. Think about it, like even Claymates, like one of our top staple, take Space Buds, for example, literally the first original 10K collection minted on Cardano. They have one of the highest floors sitting out here. They're at like a 3,800 floor, like plus that's 1 ETH right now, right? If you put that in perspective. So most decent projects over on the Ethereum side, like that's nothing. They start around that price, right?
Right.
So that just shows you how early we are inside of Cardano. And so, it makes sense, right? If you have a bunch of Ethereum people coming over here who are discovering this, and then you're like, hey, let's pump this thing up. Because I've definitely seen that in other Discords, venturing out about how the floor is a very big point of topic, and let's pump this thing, and get this thing going to drive some hype into it. So I think some of that stuff was definitely played up with the Boss Cat Rocket Club, and same thing with Chill Kongs, I think too. There was big hate, I think, inside the CNFT community. Not hate, I guess I would say, it's just distaste almost for the Boss Cat Rocket Club. There, for about a week, everybody's like, I don't know about that. Are they wash trading? Whatever, they were basically like kind of very, very skeptical of it. Then Chilled Kongs flipped around, and then they started to take off, and everybody kind of redirected some of that hate, it felt like, towards Chilled Kongs a little bit, because they're like, oh, these new people are coming in here and they're not even respecting like the OG projects, they're only just pumping this new stuff. It was a weird thing to see.
But I feel like they have that opinion. I get it, but at the same time, even though they got a Chilled Kong, like people on each side they're also seeing the other projects, all the blue chips that are already over here. You got the Space Buds, the Clays, just the other great projects that have been around here for a while. And like, oh wait, let me get this now too on this side. They have a lot of cool stuff over here, not just Chilled Kongs or the Boss Cat Rocket Club. They're seeing now all the great products we have.
Mm-hmm. Well, the craziest thing to me is that the amount of volume and stuff that these guys have done that have just broken in, like they're closing the gap quick on some of the OG products. Like I'm just filtering stuff out right now on the on to all time volume and stuff like that. And obviously Spacebud, they're sitting at the top at 17 million, but breaking into the top 10 is the Boss Cat Rocket Club already at number 9, Chill Kongs at number 7. So these new guys are already starting to make an impact inside this community.
And even
itself.
Zombie Chains, I mean, relative to like Dead Pixel, Clay, Space Buds, they're even a newer project.
Yeah, so some of these
relative
guys,
to the ones above them, they're much newer than those other ones. And seeing like even Unsig, I know they have different kind of
Unsig's been
pricing.
Here since the beginning.
They've been around forever, but that's what I mean. Just seeing them pass those is crazy.
Right. So there's definitely a new wave of people coming into the CNFT space right now. I mean, me personally, a lot of it was driven. We talked about this, was Chilled Kongs was through JPEG Store, right? Like JPEG Store was like kind of one of the catalyst events, I feel like, just inside the community itself, is, like all these people from who went in Chilled Kongs, like that was one of the first things that I noticed with them, was that Chilled Kongs was almost like, in a way, advertising JPEG Store. Like, hey guys, we got a new project, go over to JPEG Store and buy it. Make sure smart contract enabled marketplace. You'll get your stuff right away. And it really sparked a huge movement towards this marketplace itself.
Advertising it, but almost in a way saying the smart contracts work. At that time, was it right when CNFT.io got their smart contracts? So they even had it. Maybe
no, JPEG Store was up first.
Well, I mean, the Chilled Kongs though, the Chilled Kongs were like that.
No, Chill Kong. I think the smart contract enabled feature for because we talked about it on the podcast. It was like a week. It was literally like the week later. It was a few days after all this stuff went down. They were almost put under pressure to do it. And even CNFT.io is the OG marketplace. It was literally the one that got us on the map. And, all credit to them for, we wouldn't even be doing this right now if it wasn't for CNFT.io. But the thing with them is that they had I think over ridiculous 100,000 plus different projects on there. And it was, I guess it was too hard for them to implement the smart, or they needed to, do it in a certain way to implement the smart contracts on there. And even still to this day, smart contracts are enabled, but you can toggle it on and off, and you don't necessarily have to use a smart contract. You can put, you can send your ADA over to buy something, and the seller has 24 hours to reject your thing or not pay you on, to send it back over. So a lot of people got super frustrated with that, and they're like, what, screw this. I'm going to go to the JPEG Store or find another alternative. And that's where these projects, who had the ETH people who are just accustomed to a marketplace where you press buy, and if you have the money or the ADA, you get your thing. So I saw a big shift happening with that. And then the big other thing too with this was royalties too. Like they provided royalties for creators, which, if you were early into the CNFT days, you did a lot of volume. but you missed out on a lot of money from those secondary sales after that release. And that you kind of need that for, you know, for a project to continue to grow and to continue to do big. If they're not making any money and not dropping any new stuff, you know,
unless you're going to oversaturate with just constant drops. If you're not,
right.
Unless you have a roadmap of just continuous seasons, there needs to be some way to continue to drive, you know, fund your project if you do really have future plans and some utility for your original set of NFTs. And that's a realistic way to do that, is with royalties. And then Boss Cat Rocket Club kind of lean towards JPEG Store as well for the smart contract features, right? Because they just makes things so easy. I know that they exclude people that don't have the NAMI wallet, but at this point, everyone's kind of just get a NAMI wallet. You need to be on here.
Yeah. Well, that was the big thing for these two communities, was that, you know, the two highest drivers in volume are kind of an ETH backed like community, or somewhat of an ETH community from what I understand, and jumping into these different things. So they're accustomed to this kind of stuff. So same thing, if you look at like the JPEG store, even the trending stuff right now, you literally have Boss Cat Rocket Club, Chilled Kongs, the Boss Cat parts, and now some newer projects that we'll talk about here in a second. But yeah, the big thing for me to just kind of notice was that these guys they're not, you know, they came in, they had the money, they, you know, I don't know what they're, you know, I don't know what the methods are. I don't know what the utility of a lot of this stuff is yet. Well, I guess we'll see. But it is kind of crazy to see, like, you know, this is not like, you know, this is happening all within this time. And this is high, you know, this used to be like really high volume in ADA when it came to CNFTs trading like this. You didn't see this until like unless it was Clay's, realistically. A lot more recently. So even this kind of stuff too, it's nice like that. I will shout out JPEG Store, because originally they only had a few projects, right? They were all verified policy IDs, and now
it's opened up.
You open it up to every single NFT in your wallet right now. So you can do unverified policies and verified policies. It doesn't matter. So you know, you can sell any NFT you want on here, which is kind of cool, and it's all smart contract enabled. And even, I don't know if you guys saw it today, even all of the big content, like there's like a shift, there's a wave, like Clay Nation sparked it. I think I saw the degens, and then there was another community that all were like, hey guys, you know what, we're all going to pick up our marketplace. Everybody, if you want to do secondary sales,
I think it was
go to
JPEG. I think I saw that
DripDropz. Yes,
I saw that post. Yeah.
Yep. DripDropz, Claymates, and then who's the other one I just said?
3D.
3D gens. Yep. Everybody's like, hey guys, yep, go to over here. We're making I think I saw a post for Clay. Like Clay had over.
They kind of started it, and they kind of went from there with it. I think
they said out of all the secondary sales that they've had, they said they only made about 3,000 so far, like ADA in royalties, and they're crazy. Like, that's just not enough, right? So it makes sense to come over here. Like, we need that kind of marketplace. So again, Boss Cat Rocket Club. I don't know, maybe
I understand what you mean about the hate, Tommy. I mean, not hate, I guess it's like hesitation. You see it from some of the bigger names kind of on Twitter and in the spaces, and that definitely trickles down to then the community overall. It just seems like our Cardano side really goes towards the genuine projects that seem very upfront and also bring some creativity a lot of times. And especially some of the bigger names have been around since the beginning. So for them, they've seen some of these things recycled so much. It's a little different with new people getting into these Cardano and NFTs in general and getting excited about projects. So I think a lot of new people are getting in too. And it seems like you said then, like the apes, they built such a strong community behind it on the other end after it actually launched, that they were able to continue on and build it up from there on the back end. They just didn't give up on it. And they also showed too, then it wasn't just so far, at least, like a rug pull or anything. They didn't disappear like everyone thought they might.
Well, the craziest thing to me is, like, these guys are, they're pumping ridiculous amount of volume right now, and it's got a new audience attention right now, right? I think we had Saul over here too. BitBoy Crypto, literally, good question, probably nothing, literally circling Boss Cat Rocket Club. And that was another huge surge. Like, their floor was at like 700 today earlier or something like that. And now it's pumped over 9 something. So, you have a huge medium like this that's now covering something, a project like that. I mean, you're going to get volume that goes up, and it's just crazy. I mean, whatever you feel about Boss Cat Rocket Club, whatever you feel about like Chilled Kongs, I don't think I mean, I wouldn't hate on it at the end of the day. Let them do their thing. Let them continue to grind. People are going to then, people made ridiculous amount of money, right, off some of this profit. Like if you had minted for 20 ADA for one of those boss cats and you can sell it for 900 right now, think about one guy who just sells 2 of those things that he bought. He has 1800 ADA to go play with right now. He's like, let me go find some actual like other projects inside Cardano. What else is cool over here? And then they buy a clay, they buy a space bud if they got, they made some decent money off that stuff. They buy back into the unsigs if they like the art, dead pixels, all these other projects, right? I think it helped. That's why you're starting to see this, the market in general, everything over here is just sitting in the green, right, in the last few days. So to me, I mean, I think that's a good thing. You can't knock that hustle. And I had a good point. We had a good conversation on Real Talk last night about this stuff as well. Dude, all these people who are OGs that have, are kind of this more like, I don't know, I'm kind of skeptical on these new guys coming in. Dude, they made a ridiculous amount of money from unsigs, from space buds, from Cardano trees, from claymates, from all those original projects, right? And they had their time. They made a bunch of money and they got into a lot of different things because of that.
Right.
I mean, until recently, what projects were really doing numbers like this, where you could actually have that kind of growth and opportunity? It's that new wave of people getting to experience that. So I don't necessarily, how can you really knock that, right? Because back in the day, you could have been like, oh, space buds, like those are just a pump and dump kind of thing. But that's not the case, right? You were just early at the time. So I think it's a new wave of volume coming into this space and new people. So
it sounds like the drops went well too for the people that are getting new into Cardano.
Right.
Like when you went and did your chilled Kong, Tommy, you did it after the show. I mean, there was time to get in though. It wasn't these instant sellouts like you've seen in other projects, and then they end up going nowhere. We've seen projects sell out within 30 minutes, and then the floor is 15 below mint. They had good releases, good launches, and they've stuck with it so far.
Well, that's
kind of good.
That kind of proves to me too about what, like these, that was very much the sentiment last year was once all those projects, when everything launched, I was jumping into every single project that released on, every single one, because everything seemed to be doing really well. And then we finally hit that like leveling out, like plateau period where we got burned, there's no more volume. Everybody was already in everything that they could be, and their wallets were spread thin, and that's when 10K projects started to not do well and not sell out. And it kind of gave you that opportunity, like you said, now these projects that are coming in, you have a little bit, it's not like that instant sellout. You're not having to worry about it. There's new whitelisting methods that are being developed. There's so many new ways with these smart contracts too, that are enabled to be able to get this stuff. It's a lot more accessible. I feel like these days.
And I mean, back then too, that's when like you said, we hit that plateau period. It's when we first started seeing some of the rug pulls come out. Or at least more just shady projects that had like really copied art or just straight up stolen art. Not even like these ones are kind of inspired by the Ethereum side or very close to them, but just stolen, straight off Google Images art. We were seeing a lot of that at that period. So people got really hesitant for a while and it kind of locked everything up. And then that's when you started seeing those 10K projects, like you said, just kind of not sell out. And when they were just about flipping, it was kind of a failure then because they didn't really have utility. It wasn't about what's your roadmap down the line as far as Metaverse goes. It was just, is this going to be enough to hype to get FOMO buyers on a secondary back then? So if you didn't sell out, you're pretty much dead.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly what you were saying right there. It's, it was one of the two things. It was either you sold out and did really well. And if you sold out, you better have doubled your price or made people some money, because otherwise they were dumping you real quick. And that was one of those again, even with CNFT.io, where it got bad, where people could just abuse the floor for different things. And they ran some good projects into the ground. And now there seems to be like this community hype and it's, picking people up. If you look at it right now, another one that, from Lovelace CNFT, the Space Ape Club over here, look at the floor right now. It's at 197. Like literally 3 days ago, this thing was at 17 ADA. This was people were writing this thing off. We were almost we're like, hey, we're doing some giveaways. Maybe we'll just pick up a Space Ape Club because we kind of like those. And I'm looking over here. I'm like, dude, I'm like 197 ADA. Geez, that would be a great giveaway for somebody, But this is an example now of what communities are starting to do. The Chill Kongs took off. Space Ape Club's like, hey, you know what, guys, let's rally together. Let's get our community together and start getting some people, like show them that there's an alternative to this, because people who missed out on the Chill Kongs wave And when it got, 400, 500, 600 ADA, most people aren't jumping in at that point. But here, this thing was a little bit cheaper, and they liked the artwork. They had some artwork to back it up, and they're like, let's jump in here and let's pump this project. So they opened up. I think they had over 5,000 different members inside their Discord. Like, they're popping off over there, and this whole launch itself was actually inspired by a Halloween ape stealth drop, right? Back in the day from Lovelace CNFT. They literally were inspired by these Halloween apes. Again, these were sold for 13.
Oh, that wasn't the original plan? I thought the Halloween was just something extra and he was going to do the space.
It was something extra, but nobody knew what it was at the time. He goes, these were all for like the OG Adanauts from Lovelace CNFT who were doing their Adanauts project that still hasn't released yet. But they're, hey, I got a Halloween drop. It's 13 ADA. There's 10,000 of them. We stealth dropped it. They sold it out overnight. And then they let her know a Discord developed, a huge community developed behind it. You're like, all right, guys, we've got an artist on board. And we're going to be doing another 10K drop in these Halloween apes, or your 1-to-1 ticket into it. So the Space Ape Club got developed out of that, and it had a huge following. And these guys all sold out pretty much in the pre-sale for 35 ADA. I think they opened up the last few hundred to the public, sold these things out. And then everybody started to want to dump these things a little bit, right? They were like, I don't know, 25, like down to like 17 ADA, like we were talking about.
I still never understand that at all.
And then, that I think it was just, that's the inspiring part, like between like the Chill Kongs and the Boss Cats and all these other projects just started to like, let's rally the community behind this stuff and start. And here we are, 197 floor for these things. So will it stick? Who knows? It seems like they got a pretty good following and stuff going on Twitter. I know Lovelace and that team is amazing. I still am a big fan of his. I've been in there since the day one, waiting for their Adanauts program to drop. They actually did an airdrop for all the Adanauts back over Christmas. So I had they're doing like the clay thing from Adanaut Bourbon over there, who's doing all the clay stuff as well. Kind of dropping that
drop too.
So this will be a fun one too. That'll be coming up for Adanauts. But it just like anything else, if you have a Lovelace project like this, make sure you grab more than one, because he knows there's some utility, there's some airdrop, there's something that you're they're gonna help reward you guys with that. So they do build a good community with them. But I just wanted to take a moment to shout out all that new community hype over there. And I don't think it's a bad thing at all that these new projects are coming in here, because it's creating excitement. Like, I got buzzed up. Like, it was exciting to see this, something that I had that was only worth 17 that I was kind of upset about, now rise up to this. It's like, oh, hey.
I love seeing that.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody would love seeing that. I mean, can you imagine how you would feel if you owned one of those Boss Cats, or you owned one of the Kongs back in the beginning? Like, you'd probably be ecstatic right now. Like, dude, this is so awesome. Like, my project's taking off. I can get into all these different things. Like, I don't know. To me,
yeah, I like seeing people still just have a good time with some NFTs. They're not promising the world, promising, GTA 6 with their NFTs going to be in it or some shit. They're just having fun on Twitter and Discord with the profile pictures and building their community and following new people and meeting new people. Like, those apes follow apes and all that kind of stuff isn't just always about I mean, some people aren't actually trying to just get 1,000 followers. They do it because they actually like being a part of that ape community and getting to follow people that are interested in the same community as them, and that's how they get introduced to it. It actually works out great. So seeing people still have fun with that, because I feel like we haven't seen that in a little bit.
No,
it's been great. Yeah. It was. I mean, you always see it with, I know the D-Gen is like big like that, and I know the Go Tribe joint. Go Tribe, Dirt Birds. Like, you see those kind of guys doing that kind of stuff. It's fun to see some new projects get in on that.
Yeah, it's fun that there's different communities kind of coming together. And even the cool thing between the Space Apes and Chill Kongs is at one point they started just posting memes to each other like, hey, we're coming together, we're not opposing each other. So it was even cool. The two of them inside the space itself were working together to like, hey, we're cool. We know you're an ape project. We know you're an ape project, but we can all get along inside this space and everybody can have a good time. So that was fun to see, the two of that and this rally really happening. And hopefully this is the start of the good start to the year, right? I hope all these projects, start to continue to do this. And I think NFTs, like you said, 2022, it's a brand new year. This is going to be a huge year for NFTs just in general. And there's a
Cardano too. We've seen the projects rally here. Let's see Cardano rally.
Well, speaking of rallying and stuff, you're starting to see, because these smart contracts have been enabled and different things are starting to get developed. I think this year is going to be huge for DeFi for Cardano right now. And then specifically, I know I got a chance to talk in a space, I think over the break from there as well, with DripDropz, which is a token distribution site as well that came out. I'll take a look over here. DripDropz, yeah, they're basically a token distribution center that allows you to claim your drops, or as they call it. So your DripDropz, right? Little Dave Chappelle, little drip, 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 drip. But basically, if you're staking your ADA inside of a wallet, there's certain coins and certain things that become available that these, these different projects, put liquidity and stuff out for different tokens. So for me, I stake with Barry inside of my Nami wallet for this address right here. If I know you guys, TJ, I was telling you about staking. If anybody's new to Cardano, if you have all these new people coming in, like, please make sure you're staking your ADA. Like, go to your wallet wherever you're at and stake it. It doesn't do anything to your ADA. You can still do transactions. You're not locking it up or anything like that.
Yeah, that's a key phrase that you
say. No, the only thing that's locked is your rewards, obviously, as they build, and eventually you can pull them out of there whenever you want. So you get rewarded every 5 days, every epic on there. So just make sure you're staking your ADA. And the big thing about DripDropz, which I think is really cool, is that they're a token distribution center. Like, literally every 5 days, every epic, you just come over here. They call it the faucet. It just refills. So for me, I have the option to grab all these different tokens right here, grab whatever I want. They even have our favorite, our shit coin, our meme coin, our Hosky. You can literally grab. You can become a Hosky millionaire from DripDropz over here, and claim your token. And basically, I got 3 different wallets that I use between, different things right now. And I mean, 4, I have no idea, between all this different things, but I have it all staked. So every epic I can come here and claim a different, for 5 ADA. Once I go ahead and select all these, it says 2 of 10, like once you select 10 tokens max, you click claim your drops and it gives you an address to send 5 ADA to. And then once that 5 ADA, it returns you back the 10 tokens that you got. And it gives you 3.5 ADA back. So realistically, it's only a 1.5 ADA transaction that you're doing. And then you can do this every 5 days. It's kind of cool. And then again, with all the DEXs and things starting to develop out here, again, Drip has started to see a little increase in value over here. And again, and none of this is financial advice. Who knows if any of these things are going to be worth anything? Some of these are just part of like different projects for fun. Some of this stuff is just, they may have like utility to their own individual projects. Like you got token over here.
What's going on over here? Yeah.
Right. They got Stripper Coin and was it Beagle and who knows?
But I mean, even your Hosky token, you can go and sell right now on
MuesliSwap. MuesliSwap.
Yeah, you can go sell your Hosky on there right now, even the one you claim. So you get
your that's true.
million for your 1.5 ADA. You can go over there and you can flip it already.
You can get a few point something ADA for that. But yeah, so it's I would highly encourage everybody to kind of go check out DripDropz, because even for projects, even for like us, there's could be some utility for different projects, different things to be able to drop their own coins. And I believe it even is community based for what they're doing, right? I think people have the right to be able to vote. If there's like a coin over there that nobody, has a bad message or something, it's not being used the right way, that literally people can vote the coin off the system if it's not like going to their terms or something along those lines. But basically, it's a cool distribution system, and it's I don't know, there's a lot of use cases that can happen with this. So it's kind of cool to see. I would highly encourage everybody to get free coins at the end of the day. Who knows what's going to happen with them, but
right.
It's pretty fun. So DripDropz.io, go out there, check it out.
Petition, get their own coin taken off there.
Hosky loves that shit. Have you seen that stuff with Hosky? Literally, some people are like submitting it to like the different like CoinGecko and different listing websites, CoinMarketCap. They're literally submitting it there, and like, these fucking idiots over here, they're submitting something that's worth nothing, and just people don't understand. And the funny thing is, people are paying, like you said, paying money right now. It's a Hosky billionaire. Will cost you like over 100 ADA to jump into that. So. That's wild
crazy
to me.
It's getting crazy because it's putting a value to it, which is very strange waters to be in. So many people have so much Hosky.
Hosky's the meme millionaire.
If they start putting like actual value to it,
mm-hmm.
People have way too much Hosky. Be billionaires overnight.
Right? Dude, can you imagine Hosky just like actually gaining some sort of value? Like, people just degen it on the DEX is so much that there actually is like a value to it. To the point where it's like actually worth a decent amount of money, and people like who are holding like 12 billion Hosky or something like that.
That's what I mean. Yeah. It's dangerous. People have so much Hosky.
Dude, that's craziness to me. But yeah, like you said, there's a big sparked interest in just Cardano in general right now. One of the craziest things that I think happened yesterday, which again, I'm a big CardanoTrees fan over here, big fan of theirs. They had partnered with Veritree back last year in September during like the Cardano Summit with the Cardano Foundation. They're helping like to build like a Cardano forest as well. And they're basically donating trees with the company Veritree, and Veritree uses Cardano's blockchain. And yesterday, one of the big announcements that came out was literally Samsung partnered with Veritree. And their effort over there to plant 2 million trees in Madagascar by the end of Q1 of this year. So that was like a huge announcement. And not even that, it was, it got everybody talking, because it's like, hold on, why does that matter? And then you realize Veritree uses blockchain technology. That's the whole point of all this, when the blockchain that they're on is Cardano. So a huge thing gets now exposed to the Cardano ecosystem, which is like incredible news for everybody over here, because now there's a reason Samsung's not no little company, right? Like that's a very huge,
massive. Yeah, that's
global company, right? And I have to go back over here because inside of this with the Samsung and Veritree, I believe I saw Charles Hoskinson. It's like at the Las Vegas with the CES event right now. And if I don't know if I can find it through here, but basically Charles Hoskinson today, I guess or yesterday, or no, it was today. He basically was like, hey guys, just saying hi from CES, and then Samsung underneath it literally like said, hey, have a good time over there. Like they're commenting back and forth with each other.
That's wild.
So yeah,
I think it was on Samsung's page. I think I saw it. I think what you're talking about.
I know, I'd have to find it over here, because it was on with Charles Hoskinson too. Like he literally was just like, hey, I don't know. Samsung, that's crazy news to me, right? Because even CardanoTrees, right? CardanoTrees is one of my favorite projects as well.
Well, didn't we just see something too the other day? They're coming out with like able to put NFTs on their TVs now and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what they're getting. Yeah, they're leaning more towards doing that now.
That was the thing, TJ. Yeah, they're trying to integrate so you can just view your NFT right on some of their newer TVs.
Yeah, that's pretty wild and huge news too.
So yeah, like our NanoFrame's got some competition apparently, right? Or maybe they're trying to get ahead of it. We don't. Yeah.
But at the same time, though, like NanoFrames is more unique in my opinion, because you can choose the trim of your frame. Get smaller ones, of course, and just I don't know. I think it's still a little different.
Well, also you're gonna hang a NanoFrame in a different place, like it'd be in your hallway or kitchen or on your desk at your office.
Exactly.
You're not gonna get a 55-inch TV put on your work desk, Tommy.
That's my new monitor right there. It just displays all my NFTs. No, I mean that's huge. That's like huge global like company out here coming in there, and it's awesome too, because they're helping the environment too as well. I think it's like 1 ADA or whatever it is. Like for Veritree, we'll plant 1 tree, and they're trying to like plant 1 billion trees and create like a Cardano forest. In that sense, so I know last year.
I'm sorry, yeah.
No, I was saying that last year that was during that summit right there. As you can see, I think I sent in like 15 of them, and I got this little token, this NFT token for the Veritree. And I think we had talked to Damien from CardanoTrees. He was talking about redeeming these things as well for certain things. I can't remember what exactly he had talked about, but that'd be a good question for our AMA with CardanoTrees next Wednesday. So if you're watching this, there's some heat inside the CardanoTrees community this week, just kind of, with all these other projects inside the space pumping right now and a lot of volume. Everybody's kind of like, hey, you're one of the OG projects, what's going on over here? Why aren't you guys taking off? And I feel like it's a lot of just people don't know yet. The OGs in the space know about CardanoTrees, but a lot of people have no idea what's going on with them. So the marketing and stuff, I think we're going to talk about that. And I'm helping host a space with Ken over there as well. So that'll be
where's that going to be? Are they going to do that on Twitter?
I think we're going to do it on. There's still details that would be announced. Again, we haven't finalized anything yet, so I could literally be giving you false information right now. So don't really want to say too much on it. But I'm sure they'll post a thing about it as well. And I'm assuming it would be like a Twitter space or something, or maybe even a Discord AMA. I don't know yet. We'll figure a way. We'll definitely promote that out there. But it's going to basically roundtable with a lot of some of the community members. I think Damien, as well as us. So that'll be kind of cool to to get more info on CardanoTrees itself, because that is one of the OG projects. And if you're not following them, please go take a look at them. They're basically the first on-chain, like it's not just like I think somebody had called it like a GIF or something like that. And CardanoTrees spokesman Eltano literally just, dude, he got so mad at the guy. I don't know if anybody knows inside of the actual Cardano community, Eltano. He's literally like the king of kings inside of the CardanoTrees. If you see crowns popping up somewhere around there, he's your guy. But
all my tweets are financial advice. I never saw the top of that.
he's hilarious, man.
Well, that's how far the back this goes, Tom. You've seen that picture where he's Michael Scott there shaking hands with Damien head truck or whatever. The first time you showed us that, sure, Damien, he's the creator of CardanoTrees, whatever. Now we sat down and talked with him. That's so cool. That's how far it's come. Like the first time you showed us that, I was like, that's a funny little joke. And I love The Office, of course. So I got that part of it, but I had no idea who Damien was. Are they you guys got to see if he can do a cameo for the AMA.
Yeah, could you imagine how fun? Yeah, we were talking about Eltano. He said he'll be there. He may be in the chat. We were literally in real talk last night, and Eltano jumped in there and he just started spamming the 100, the cry faces, the all the different like emojis and little reactions inside of there. He was just spamming the hell out of it, the little waving thing for a little while, and he just dipped out of there. But it was hilarious to see that.
It's kind of silence in there. They don't allow anyone to there's no like Twitch chat or anything going on for the spaces. There's no chat going on like a YouTube live. So they kind of just have just the emojis.
Of that. And Eltano is the biggest like just troll like shit poster, but at the same time, like he's very like knowledgeable in the space as well. He's the biggest hype man, like you said. He's everything he has is in caps lock. His Nokia 3310 stuck in caps lock. His wife left him, but he's got his trees and his bros. So that's Eltano's thing. So if you see him in your community, dude, just be prepared for some trolling. But this guy over here, I felt this is hilarious to me. I just wanted to shout this out real quick because I'm scrolling through here on this comment of his literal tweet today was like, while you were minting Space Buds, I was minting Astro Buns. You were minting Pavia, I was minting Danoverse. While you were minting Claymates, I was minting Coco Loco, which are all like rug pull projects, right? Compared to like blue chip projects over here, right? And we were not the same. He's just trolling it, top tier stuff. Some guy over here goes, my king, like just complimenting him and throws a picture of some NFT project. You guys, I don't know what the fuck this is, bro, but I hope you got rugged. Just so I can start dying, dude. Like literally hilarious. I gotta know. Eltano always gets me. So, and if you ever see that guy's face right here, I forget his name, that Spanish guy with like that crazy laugh, like missing teeth. Like he always does that emoji and a reaction inside the Discord. So, quick.
If you see him around, definitely, give him a shout out. Yeah, like
give him a crown, or if you don't give him a crown, he will crown himself. I'll tell you that.
But he goes through and likes every one of his posts. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah, it's hilarious to me. I think I saw an update too on there. I'll have to find it on there. I think somebody rebought the handle for the Eltano, and he's like, if any, it's still under.
It's gone around again. Now. Someone else.
No, I think it's still the same thing. Okay. He said it's still held hostage as ADA handle.
Those people are definitely seeing it too. Who buys Eltano without knowing who that is? So they're definitely seeing his tweets and just not saying anything, which probably makes it that much sweeter when you're watching. God,
Eltano's hilarious to me. And then I just wanted to shout out to, since we're on the topic of CardanoTrees, Ken Adams over there. He's very big into like the Project Catalyst side of Cardano as well, and helping like educate people and stuff. But he's definitely was big inside the CardanoTrees community. And he's kind of doing his own thing right now, which I had actually got a chance to speak with him. And he's doing different oil paintings. He just did release his first set. And today he's doing his second set with Space Buds from Alessandro, from the creator of Nami Wallet with Burials. He's doing his Space Bud. He's doing a few different ones. He's doing my Claymate, one of the blue clays, his own Angel Baby Hit Squad, and then Old Money Collage from Woodrow Wilson and Richard Trixon from Old Money. So he's doing a second set. I just want to shout him out because he just got that up there. So
those are really well done.
I had not seen the video. It looks really cool.
Yeah. Shout out to Ken on that.
Yeah, there's Clay. That's wild.
Yeah. If anything, he's the one helping organize this thing for the AMA for CardanoTrees. So big shout out to him too. I just wanted to give him a little look.
It was in Trees that you first met him, right?
Yep.
Reached out on Discord. Yeah,
dude, he's a super chill dude, man. He's really, really nice guy. So he's very knowledgeable too. So I'd highly recommend checking out his stuff. So that'd be cool when that does come out. He's actually very talented too. He's over here drawing and painting all this stuff himself.
That was
kind of cool.
That was after we started the show, right? Like after you had maybe released one of the early episodes, maybe the eltano one or something. And
yep,
you guys see, that's another cool thing. You probably would never met him in Discord. You probably just been hanging out if we hadn't started doing this. So just another positive thing coming out there, because I know you guys have talked quite a bit.
Yeah, he's a really cool dude. So big shout out to Ken. I guess transitioning over to our next part of this is huge. We always do a kind of our this is our metaverse update. It feels like right now, but always starting out with our favorite Pavia over here. What Cardano's probably biggest metaverse, the most largest prospect. I think, dude, literally last time we were talking about this, which was what, 2 weeks ago, it was 32,000 followers, up to 38,000 followers already. Pavia's just been crushing it, man. You know, we showed the whole video last time about them. Basically, your Ready Player Me avatar. You know, there's 60,000 land plots that went out last year, over 2 sales, and they actually have one last one for 40,000 plots that are still still up for sale.
I cannot wait to get. I need to get on that for sure.
So Pavia, I would highly recommend checking them out. I'm a big fan of it. You know, obviously do your own research. So this stuff could all go away tomorrow. But I like the idea of what they're building. You know, if you're into the sandbox, if you're into Decentraland, you know, this is Cardano's, you know, biggest ambitious take, I think, on what they're doing. They have land inside of Decentraland, they have land inside of Sandbox, and they have their own portals that they're looking to make cross-chain into those different worlds. So they're looking to connect all those as well. And they're coming along with their development right now, releasing some teaser trailer videos. So one of the big things for Pavia, I know what we had talked about last week, was the fact that they had airdropped for tokens, their Pavia token to all their land holders. They did 8,333 tokens per plot that anybody owned, and they had airdropped those. So that was only for the first 2 sales. I don't think they're going to do it for the third. But like we were talking about the dexes over here, if you go to, like we talked about, that ada.muesliswap.com, we're over here now, and Pavia is listed on there. They're not yet on like a Sunday swap or anything like that. I think this is the only place you can buy them on a secondary right now. But even since the last time, TJ, I think we had talked that, you know, they were like in the 0.4 ADA, and now we're over here pushing almost up to 0.6 ADA. So I don't know what that is, and a little over 7 cents maybe, whatever it is. I think we had that wrong the first time last we had talked about that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool, right? So again, same thing for this. We wanted to just reiterate to people who may be jumping into the space and they're playing around. Like, this is one of those dexes where you can connect your NAMI wallet up in the top right hand side of the screen. If you do have a NAMI wallet, works similar in the way the MetaMask works. You just connect the wallet up to it, and then you know, you can click buy or sell directly, and it'll give you kind of the toggle bar right here. TJ, didn't you have a little story about that?
I was a noob.
Yeah. I think what'd you buy? Like 100 ADA or 100 Pavia or something like that?
Yeah, I only bought 100. I bought it off the actual tab you just clicked on there. I only got 100 of it. And then you showed me down there, I can just buy one of the orders. You get a better deal that way.
Yeah, you can actually come over to here and actually click buy versus this thing, and it'll actually give you the thing, and it'll actually transact you right away. The other way, if you're trying to set like 100 coin limit right now at a certain price, you have to wait for somebody to actually put in an open order to sell that for that at that price. So I think, TJ, yeah, you spent like a ridiculous price, like 100 Pavia.
Yeah, I spent 20. It was only 25 ADA, but I only got 100 Pavia. I did the same thing a couple of days later when you showed me the right way. I got 500 Pavia.
Right.
The right order.
Yes.
I'm an idiot.
But I mean, it's a good learning experience for all the people coming over for the dexes, because I think a lot of my first big experience with like dexes like this, I think, was Pancake Swap earlier this year, or early in 2021. Damn, bro, it's 2022 right now.
I remember when I told you about Pancake Swap, you're like, what the hell is that?
Bro, you had the craziest shit. I'll never forget that. That's how the group chat, like literally Freedom 35 got resurrected last year, was from, was it Safe Moon
and Pancake Swap?
Say, hey, yo, you're gonna get your Safe Moon. How do I buy it? Oh, well, you got to go to Pancake Swap and switch it over, and then get your Safe Moon. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, bro? What are we doing right now?
It was like 8 in the morning too,
though. Right? It was like, oh, then you gotta buy a jar of syrup, and then you get your stick of butter, and every day you spread the butter. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, oh, it's staking. I'm like, why do they have all these names for? Why am I spreading the butter out and like doing weird shit on Pancake Swap?
Right. I don't know, man. So I mean, we got Muesli Swap now. There's all kinds of crazy difference. We got Sunday Swap. I don't know. This food's a nice topic, I guess. when it comes to swapping stuff. Maybe it's just nicer, I don't know. But if you, it's actually weird if you think about it. There's Uniswap. I guess it's a little different, but it's weird that all the different names. But MuesliSwap right now seems to be the one where you can actually buy the Pavia on it. And you can actually go down here, buy, connect. If you want to own some of this stuff, this is your way to do it. I know you've seen Mana, you've seen Sand for those different tokens, and obviously they've really increased. And I think the Metaverse this year too is going to be obviously a huge topic of, people are going to continue to buy into that. So, I mean, it might be worth a look for people,
NFTs and Metaverse, this is definitely the start of the year for sure.
Yeah,
just the fact that even Samsung brought up NFTs being introduced to their TVs. I mean, that's just going to send a whole, wave of things that are coming this year. I feel like now with other companies getting involved.
Yeah, everybody's buying into the Metaverse. You're seeing all the big communities and different commercial companies coming into this stuff. You have Adidas moving over there with the Bored Apes. And Nike that just acquired it's like Artifct.
I was listening to the radio today. It's just some random radio host down in our area down here. They were talking about, I just bought my first 2 NFTs last night at Ethereum. I have no idea what it means, but I bought 2 of them. That's wild to hear.
Well, crazy as shit. What was I listening to? The podcast for Joe Rogan the other day. There was a clip of some guy. He's like, "Hey Joe, you got any digital real estate yet?" And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Digital real estate." He's like, "What?" And the guy literally explained to him. He's like, in Snoop Dogg, literally in the sandbox, people are paying $450,000 to buy a land plot next to Snoop Dogg in this fake world, and he's just like, "Shut the fuck up, dude. What are you talking about right now?" And it sounds ridiculous as it is right now. And that's kind of where we're at. Pavia, just, people obviously do your own research on the project. Pavia is by no means even anywhere near being able to jump into this Metaverse. I'd be lucky to see if you can actually step into it this year. I know they have goals to do that by the end of the year, but just definitely make sure you're looking into it. Just because we're out here telling you how to get it doesn't mean it's going to do anything at all. This is no kind of financial advice, and we're literally the last people to be listening to for that.
You can go buy some Hosky on there too if you actually want to, not spend it.
If you want to be a billionaire, get some Hosky on there.
Yeah, look at instant billionaire.
You can buy your Hosky right here, right? But yeah, so again, Premier. Look how
what was he? When you were trying to tell us about this, Tom, we were on Discord or something. What was he calling it at first, TJ? MuesliSwap?
You were calling it something weird. I remember it was
because we spelled it completely different, and we're like, I have no idea what you're saying, Tom. You got to pull this up for me.
I forget.
It was off this podcast. You were trying to explain to us, like, Tommy, what can you just copy and paste it or something? I don't know what you're saying right now.
I was like, MuesliSwap. I'm like, dude, just what's that Billy Madison thing? Slow down.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I was in that Twitter space last night. I think a guy's named Nils. He was in there, and he's like it was like German or something. He's like MuesliSwap or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's all right. MuesliSwap, pretty close, right? So I don't know, but whatever it is, it's related to I don't know, like oats or something like that. That's why it looks.
Yeah, it looks like an oatmeal dish or something. That's mashed. Yeah,
with some fruit in it. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, big Pavia and a bunch of other tokens, a bunch of DeFi stuff. So
I thought it was a bowl of rice with something on top.
I like the peaches and cream.
Are you eating cereal? Oatmeal. Fuck's in the bowl. We use milk. But anyway, dude. Yeah. So DeFi too, big. Everything's coming out this year for Cardano. There's a lot to be excited about, especially these Metaverse projects. One of the other ones that minted over the past week that didn't take off right away, but has been around for a lot longer than most of these. It's Cardania over here. They started off more like a card, like a founder's cards, like kind of pack game. Like
I didn't know that. I never realized that.
Yeah, they actually, this was like the first thing that I had found out. I purchased a founder's card. I think I have a purple one. And it's like a game. It's like a metaverse and like a game. I don't know too much about them. I don't want to put out the wrong information about them. I just know that I've had their stuff early on just because I was like, oh, that's cool. And I like cards. Like that was kind of, I don't know what kind of game they were building. But they went ahead and did their Terraform like version cards. 1. I like it. So fuck up, dude.
I like cards. I'll get some.
All right, dude, fuck off. They did their Terraform version 1, like blockchain land. They released some like sick YouTube clip, like I don't know, like I saw this and I was like, yo, shit, okay, I'm in. Like, yo, you sold me, right? like I saw this going on. I was like, okay, they're doing their Terraform. This looks sick. Like there's a YouTube video playing right now, like almost like the Halo, right? Like the ring of this spelled like the C right now, the different lines. It has that retro, like, I don't know what is that,
like that Super Nintendo
like
game. What game is
or
that?
something like that.
No, not Heyman.
Like a Capcom
Castlevania or no, Contra.
Castlevania does
It was
look like that
Contra.
Contra
It looked like,
too, yeah.
It was Contra. It was Contra.
yeah. But I actually went back and bought one of these as they were getting ready to sell out. I think they sold like 9,000, like 800 or 9,700 something of these things. So I ended up grabbing one of them. And again,
what was the mint price those again on here? You said
40 ADA for these. So it wasn't too expensive. I mean, it's pretty typical for a mint price over here. But I mentioned one of these, and just in the hopes, like I said, it's all speculation at this point, right? Like any of these metaverses, any of these land sales that are going on, it's just like real life, right? Like you buy land in the hopes that at some point it's going to be worth more, or there's going to be some, like think about like downtown areas. If you had bought land, 100 years ago and that downtown erupted, that land is worth a lot of money. It's the same kind of thing. It's like you're picking one of these metaverses to be the one where people are going to be at, right? That's the spot. So right now, I mean, Cardania they've been around a lot longer than most of these, and they have their own. They have a cool little vibe. I like their artwork. I like the style that they have going for them. So I bought into it, and I already had a founder's card. So but they have sold out now, and they seem to be holding pretty strong for what they've got going on. At last I had looked, these have been on sale since last year in like September, or even maybe before that. And they hadn't sold out, and now over here they're literally selling stuff out, as new people jump into this space. So
I like the cool. Variation in their plots. If you go back up, the different plots they have,
I like that too.
Yeah, it's not just as
picture.
Yeah, standard as some of the other ones are. They really have some almost like there's gonna be different regions. I don't know if they're doing some sort of like metaverse land kind of thing, like how far they're taking it.
They got
it definitely seems like they're leaning towards that. Is that ore too, Tommy? This is yours you're showing, like the green stuff like buried in the ground.
Well, they have like different sectors. Yeah, they have different sectors in there, a different atmosphere. There's like livestock. My land type is rocky on here. They have shrines. They have primary minerals built into this. And I have a fungal shrine.
So it's like some like alien type thing, like No Man's Sky, traveling planets.
Yeah, one of I'm mining radium over here. What is that? Is that from Borderlands? Radium over there?
Don't know that one now.
Iridium, or what the hell it was called.
Iridium was from Borderlands for sure.
The purple stuff. I don't know.
If you go back to the website too, go back all the way to the top, I guess. The little character they got over there in the bottom right corner, it looks like I don't know, Moana action figure or something.
It makes me think of Action League now. That
I was gonna say so much metaverse stuff to me looks like it's from Kablam. Like I don't know why.
Kablam.
Like, like either it's the clay animation style, like where it's the caveman getting taught by the alien or whatever, or it's like Action League now style. So I think all that stuff looks like Kablam. That's why I wanted to go back to this page. I was gonna say this reminds me of Kablam.
That's fucking hilarious. So Cardania was another one that just sold out. That was another metaverse that just launched. And then one we had actually covered from the last time was Artifct, the spaces, right? On the moon. That was one of the last episodes that we had had done as well. And this was from the marketplace Artifct, which used to be CNFT. They rebranded over there, and they're doing their own marketplace right now. Out of nowhere, they said, hey, we have a metaverse dropping called Moon or Spaces right now, Artifact Spaces, and the moon was the first destination. I think we saw Mars, and then is it Arrakis, Tom, was the one that got us excited. So they dropped this teaser before the end of the year of like there's 5,000 spaces of these things, and there was one monolith on one of the moon's like plots. And so they dropped this video of this monolith like being in there, and everybody was like, and this guy running around jumping on the moon with like a little low gravity, and everybody went nuts for it, me included. I was sitting over there like, oh yeah, sick, dude. This is like, pump this thing up, it's going crazy. And dude, got a little spicy in the community. I don't know if anybody knows Patrick Tobler. He's with NFT Maker. He helped he's been in this space for a long time. He pretty much was like, I appreciate what you guys are doing. He goes, this is literally the Unreal Engine standard character and controller, like drag and drop. He goes, excited to see it, but excited to see a bit more development. And they kind of, instead of just being like, Yeah, you know, like we're just getting started with it. Yeah, you got, and not even that, like, yo, this is like early concept. This is just something we kind of wanted to show off for everybody.
I'm sure they were excited. Like, I know what that's like. You make something, I just want to share this, even though
we got a sick
I have a lot more work to do, but I just kind of want to show some things off.
Just the idea of what we want.
Yeah, it was, I mean, it got everybody hype. I was sick. I was definitely onto that thing too. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, that's awesome. It looks sick. Like, I'm all about that. Like, if I can
a little misleading, like without knowing, like I didn't know without him saying that's the standard character. Well, like, for all I know, they made that guy. So that is, you know, that kind of,
I had no clue. And then of course they doubled down on it. Instead of just being like that, they go, yo, please send your less than 5 minutes of your Unreal development. We might have a job for you. Well, who knows? I don't know what his experience is right now, but apparently he put out kind of a savage little video in a nice little subtle way. He goes, feel free to send me your offer, with a little kissy face over there. Literally starts the timer and does this in 2 minutes, but basically loads in and just shows that he has the Unreal. He plugs everything in, puts the asset and everything in there. And if you like, I think about the minute 50 markish right over here, he's loading in the assets of the moon. And by the end of this stuff, you know, man, I saw eltano over there. You literally wrote like the ice cold stuff, like the savage like thing over there. I'm like, oh, like that was a tough thing to do.
But and then Patrick even said, though, you know, he's like, this is, you know,
he goes, don't get me wrong. He goes, they look sick, and you know, I
all
like
about the
team
project. So
and he goes, you know, everybody says metaverse right now, right? So it's easy to build off that hype, but you know, literally it looks almost identical, minus the gravity and the monolith. It looks almost identical. So it was a little savage dig. So we were in the Twitter space as well last night. And Real Talk people were talking about this. They're like, you know, was that fair of him to do that? You know, what do you guys think about it? Was that fucked up that he did that? And I think everybody came to the consensus of, you know, Artifct, well, you know, I think their intentions were good. They should have kind of gave a better disclaimer to it, because like you said, if this, you know, most like to the average person or doesn't do game development, to me, I would have had no clue what had just happened out there. So it definitely was a little misleading. You know, maybe call it, you know, could have gone about it in a different light, but I think this also was kind of pretty nice way to go about it without him like I mean, he was kind of like just dunking on him a little bit, but at the same time it was just like
he could have been like way more mean-spirited about it and absolutely try to like tear them down, as opposed to kind of like pointing it out and having fun with it like he did. Because especially seeing it on Unreal Engine, which looks so good. It seems like it's so much further ahead of some of the other metaverse teasers you've seen from some other projects that, you know, are Dreamcast graphics, and this is just, you know, full scale PC graphics.
Right. And so it was good though that I think we had a good conversation in there about this. And again, Patrick wasn't out there trying to come at him. He was actually really nice about it. But his big gripe was like, it's easy to trick people in a metaverse like setting stuff. When this is not anywhere near that, you know.
So when you're in his position too, then how that is a tough question, because he knows that that's the standard model character. He may support and like the project. So how do you now bring about like, hey, I like your project, but also guys, you should let people know, hey, it's just a standard character. You guys didn't make this. Don't, you know, maybe don't pretend like you did, or just vaguely say something without actually saying it, so that people just assume then that you made all this. So I think that's kind of what he's trying to address. Like, it is hard to say and not really just call someone out, but at the same time, he sees this a lot. He doesn't want people to get taken advantage of, or not have all the facts and be able to do their research.
And you need people to be able to do this, because I had a good comparison last night. I was talking about it, and I think of it in the sense of, think about, you know, the way that people invest now is completely different from like how our parents grew up doing it, right? They had a financial advisor, they had a broker that they had to go to. They like, hey, I want to make this investment. And the guy was like, you know, chill, you definitely don't want to do that. Like, they gave him like some sort of advice. They had an informed opinion about it, right? And nowadays you can go on Robinhood, you can go on Webull at the click of a button, just go invest in whatever the hell you want, and you can get wrecked real quick. It's the same thing in this NFT world, right? Like, you can go buy whatever you want to buy. But without the people, you know, without people like this that come in and like, hey, hold on, this is really the reality of it, people could really lose their ass on this and be turned away from this technology. So I think you kind of need those people in that community to do stuff like this. Was it a little harsh? For sure. But I think it was necessary too at the same time. So that way, you know, going forward, people, now I'm a little more skeptical about, you know, when somebody drops something like that, like, let me question it a little bit more before I go all in on it, you know.
On for Artifact now, it'll be how they approach their next tweet when they show off something next time? Will it have a little bit more description or have a little bit more development to it where they've actually added their own assets and more of their own work in? It kind of is on them now to show what they're doing.
Well, I think, and they started off as like a marketplace, right? Like that was their number one thing. So it was interesting that they led with that. And, I've seen more news recently about the metaverse than I have the actual marketplace. So I'm curious to see, what happens with them. I think that, they should probably release a little bit more of whatever their core product, if their spaces are going to be their core product in the metaverse, then great. But I think that's something that they're probably looking to implement with their marketplace. So like you said, maybe
either way, I'm like still excited though to see what they're.
I'm not trying to shit on Artifct at all. Like I'm in there. I own some of the moon spaces myself. I'm excited. I want it to do well, I just know that the space itself, if people were hyped up, built on that, and then they're like, hey, we saw, we're expecting you guys to release something, and they're like, we're not even close to being done. We just kind of dropped you a quick little teaser of what we're thinking. So it's just about like, having a healthy conversation about stuff. And because at the end of the day, it's the internet, people are gonna find out one way or another, So again, it could have got a lot worse, I think, from what it was.
Didn't Clay just release something too? Was it last week about like the tents and stuff and the legs? Or was that before we were?
Yeah. Clay's dropping their own. They did their metaverse as well. And the Clays are getting legs this year, and they dropped like the same kind of thing. It was like a Clay with like he's naked, like with a little Santa hat on,
right,
running around by the water. So that was a thing as well. And
I think we showed some of that off last video too. I think we were previewing some of that.
Did we get a chance to? Because I don't remember if they dropped it during the Christmas time or not. It was definitely that got me excited.
One of the previews for sure with the Clay legs. Definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're right. But that was definitely interesting to me to kind of see that, and it was kind of like you said, you need some accountability in the community, I guess, is one way to go about. I don't know. It was
and I mean it's
a little spicy. I woke up and I saw Altano's little chill.
Well, when you hear like do your own research, like it's reading stuff like what Patrick posted, that is the research we can kind of do. I don't know anyone specifically myself, like personally, that does any sort of development with that kind of software, so I wouldn't know who to ask about that. So it's nice seeing the community look out for itself and also still not completely shit on it, where it's still supported, where hey, we're still here for the future, just this wasn't completely on the up and up kind of thing. Right.
Yeah. What do you call it? So I'm sorry, I'm over here. We're over here screen sharing some stuff. I'll put you guys up because TJ's the boss over here, just sending me some stuff right now.
I found the Clay when it was day after Christmas.
Yeah, there it is right now. Yeah, his little naked Clay over there. Everybody's like naughty Clay over. Like he's just like naked or just sitting around inside the thing. But I mean, again, that could be done probably, I don't know. I mean, if there's a good dev, I probably wouldn't take him too long to go ahead and model that and get that ready. How developed this is, who knows? But that's cool. That it's crazy to see that the Clays from where they come have now kind of turned into this as well. Like this metaverse, like everybody's building a metaverse right now, it feels like.
Yeah.
And who knows what the hell that's even going to mean one day. Like, are we all just, I'm like, am I going to really, it's like Discord servers too, to me, like how many Discord servers am I in? How many can I actually like really realistically keep up with? Cause there's projects that I really like, but sometimes I'll go, I'll ghost my way out of them for a long, long time.
Well, my fear is that like when whoever makes the first one and it's completed, I'm afraid that like within a few days or weeks, the next one's going to drop, the next one's going to drop, but then they're going to start having problems because they're going to release too soon because they're afraid of what's going to happen because everyone else is releasing before them. I just don't want that to happen either. I don't want
dropping half-ass stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're not completed. They're just doing it just to get it out.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Clay's, I kind of trust, I trust what Clay's got going.
Oh no, I'm not saying, I'm just saying in general, a project, whoever drops it first, I don't want that to happen afterwards. Like that downward spiral of just releasing it because you want to get it out.
Well, it's the same thing like the marketplaces, right? Everybody's trying to drop a marketplace.
Right.
It's like, don't get too oversaturated on that. You want some quality behind what they're doing. You want yourself to take some time. Speaking of like marketplaces and, I just said ghosting right now. How about one of our favorite, community art? We've been adopted, right? Last year was Ghostchain, CNFT. They've got a very ambitious project right now. They dropped a 10K drop last year for these ghosts, the pixelated ghosts, right? And
one of scramble getters made it, and it keeps going up the damn price.
Well, dude, these things, like, again, I think we had a fun story about this. We talked about it briefly originally when we mentioned this. I think I mentioned it to you guys.
You had just seen them. Yeah. You had seen them kind of when their drop happened.
And didn't know anything about them other than I just knew that there's some utility behind them. And I had no idea because the floor went from like into like the, I don't know, 50, 60 or whatever it was. It jumped over 100 and 120. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's what sparked their initial conversation. I'm like, something's going on with these things. And then we got discovered from the community and found a way to reach out. And one of the guys, Slick Nicks inside of there, he actually donated a ghost to each one of us back last year, and we got us into the project itself, which is really awesome. And
thank you again.
Yes, dude. Shout out to Slick Nicks. Dude, he's a whale, man. That guy's got a ridiculous number of those things. The legendary ones are so cool.
Value, yeah.
Well, the legendary ones inside of this thing are too. Eventually, you'll see them like the orange backgrounds. They're like, there's actually like, what is it? They're based off of like real life, like, I don't know, there's a Buzz Lightyear one, there's a Pikachu one, there's a Link one. There's all these different like cool, like themed ghosts over there.
Sometimes they got almost just about everything. It's crazy to go through. It doesn't stop. They got the Master Chief, they got Teletubbies,
Heisenberg,
Sherlock Holmes,
Rick and Morty, like literally all. There's so many of these things. But the crazy thing about Ghostchain they've been taking off this past week. They literally just hit 500,000 ADA in secondary market sales. And I think I see a lot more conversation going around on Twitter about them too. They over Christmas break when we were out there, they dropped the first like airdrops, 3 different airdrops of their Soul token that they're going to be doing. That's going to be utilizing, because the big thing outside of them just being a 10,000 NFT project, these 10,000 NFTs have direct utility to their marketplace that they are developing called freeroam.io. And freeroam.io is actually going to be releasing over the course of this month. It's a marketplace, basically. I don't know if it's going to be somewhat similar, akin to like a smart contract marketplace, like a JPEG store or something. But the unique thing about them, they integrate with these ghost chains. So holders of an actual ghost chain, they get 0.01% net profit from the free roam marketplace, which is actually insane, right? Say this marketplace actually takes off, right? I mean, you hold 10 ghosts over there. What you got? 0.1% of the sales or whatever it is.
Sick.
I think they do million ADA or something like that. Like, it's all passive income right here. So that is one of the reasons why you see people holding the shit out of these ghosts, because on a secondary market, like, there is no secondary market really for these things. If you go on CNFT.io, there's 10,000 of these things. There's like 232 listed right now out of 10,000. These people are diming handing these things, like not letting go of them. And ghost even still, like, yeah, for sure have ghost hands, right? Like, you are not touching these things unless you got it. And again, the floor on these things jumped, dude. They were like 185 a few days ago. They're now pushing close to like 400.
That's right, so now. Awesome to see though, that there's so little are listed and how many people are holding right now. That's just, I love that.
Crazy thing to me too is that their community is like so chill, they don't really market themselves like super crazy. They're kind of like organic growth, which is like where the reason that we had kind of talked to them in the first place is because we were big on organic growth, and we found each other organically. Literally, like, someone messaged us like, hey, we saw your podcast talking about us, like, hey, come get them into the Discord, and we were able to do that. So it was kind of cool to see. And now you're starting to see more because the floor is going up. There's very, very low assets on the market, and people are starting to ask what's going on. And it's because the people who actually hold this project, they like truly believe in it, that this thing's going to really do well. And it really is tied to this free roam marketplace here. They do have went ahead, I think, and dropped their, like an update for the month of January over here, starting this week. They're going to have the listings start and the dashboard release with some updates. Eventually moving over to smart contracts, like a beta coming the week of January 22nd. And then beyond that, they're going to start doing, I guess, the distribution, maybe possibly, of the actual ADA for the ghost chain holders themselves for any kind of sales throughout there. And eventually they're doing at the end of the month, the full release of free roam for all the listings. So I'm very
quick.
That's I think why you're seeing the drive in price right now. And I know there was a couple like questions, like skeptical of people like, oh, there's a low number of wallet holders on this, in this thing. And it's because a lot of people own, there's a couple of people who own, I think like Slick Nixie had like over 1,200 of these things, like something, because they bought in, like people who were in the pre-sale on this thing back in October, they were able to mint these for like 25 ADA back then. And you see them right now, and they're popping, man. Like, let's see if I can pull the data on these things while we're sitting here talking. But yeah, 232 of these things. I don't know. I have to go pull how many wallets are actually inside of here right now. I don't know if you guys know how to do that.
If you go back
sure.
go back one page. It should be on there. Wallet holders on the right.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, there
It's
it
on
is.
it's in the thing too. You can look at it.
Oh, see, I'm not
I
very
think this
good
guy's
at
ever
this.
used Open CNFT before, TJ. Come
Right.
on now.
Jeez, what a
That's
noob.
wallet holder 708.
Oh
That's
wow.
crazy,
Damn, I
right?
didn't know it's so low.
Wow.
So these people are like, when I say
Ghost
diamond
hands for
handing,
real. Yeah.
like
goddamn.
it is crazy the amount. And I know that was like a big skepticism of them. But if you talk to anybody inside that community, it's like, dude, I'm not letting
Shit,
go of these
I
things.
wouldn't let go of them either. What the hell?
And they've either been buying them up off the floor to snag up and
Dude,
consolidate.
they buy them all the time.
Well,
They're huge.
239 though were sold the past 7 days. Like that's a pretty big volume for them on their end, at least. For
Right.
They must just snag up any that they see go for sale.
Everybody really is starting to really get into the last remaining people in there. They're all just buying everything up. And it's probably a test, like the bull run's kind of happening right now. So people are probably, if you think about it, I saw a lot of people like, flip a Kong to get more ghost chains. I saw that happening a lot too. Flip a boss cat to get into here. Like that was one of the things. And their community is super fun, man. I'm a big fan of what they got going on.
It's a super like open community, but they're very like tight knit. Like they're always, if you're on Twitter, it's the same, same guys always cutting it up and always chatting and talking about new stuff. And they'd like to take over posts too. Anytime anyone recommends anything, you see all like the same ghost chain guys on. They're just taking it over. Dude, they blow up some of the posts.
Oh, they're big on Twitter. Yeah, if you post anything about them, like I love posting stuff, and the whole community just rallies around it. And this is part of their gallery, one of the galleries they've launched. So if you're able to actually look at the different traits and different things that they have. And one of the cool things about these things too is that these things have DNA built into them. I don't know if I can see it right here or not. Oh yeah, the DNA numbers on here. So some of these DNAs are it relates to that soul token that we were talking about. Like all these ghosts are, at one point had a soul. And then their souls were all split up, and that's what that DNA is. So certain ghosts have the same DNA, and they were split from the same soul. Some of the more legendary ones are like one of ones; they have their own soul. Like, so I think that was part of how the distribution happened too. Back, you had a higher chance, I guess, depending on the more unique DNA that you had, the more better chance you had to get some of that soul token. And I know that soul token is going to be used in utility with your ghost, and to integrate with the marketplace and stuff like that as well. So I'm curious to see what Free Roam itself, who they end up getting verified on here, and how the sales get pushed this way, because there has to be royalties on this stuff. And I think I did talk to Alexander inside the Discord there. He's very helpful. He was basically saying, yeah, we're going to have, royalties will be implemented. There needs to be, there's not a set standard yet for royalties. So everybody does need to double check that. I know, you can sell a Space 8 club, just using them as an example, because I know you can sell one of those on JPEG store, and you'll pay a 6% royalty fee, plus a 2% fee on JPEG. Wow. You go to CNFT.io, there's no royalties there, so you're saving 6% off your sale. So there needs to be some sort of, like we talked about that today a little bit in Discord, a little bit of regulation and of these different royalties. But right now it's kind of like the Wild West. You just need to do your research before you sell on one of these platforms to make sure you know what your fees and stuff are getting taken out.
I'm almost curious, are we going to see like exclusivity, like when one game goes to PlayStation only? Well, if Free Roam can snag a big project because they offer the most in royalties, are we going to see some projects go exclusive, like kind of stuff? Like, yeah, like obviously they can't dictate what the secondhand sellers do, but just as far as their own promotion and stuff goes, like we've seen with Chilled Kong, so they kind of almost promoted JPEG store just because of the smart contract. So and because they did have the royalties in place for them, so we'll see that more, depending on if you can almost buy off some projects depending on what you're trying to do as a marketplace.
Yeah, I definitely can understand that. Yeah, if you can imagine if like a big project inside the CNFT community partners only with free, like imagine if you're only on this site, like what that does for those things too. So I think that's what the pull of Ghostchain is, right? Like if you have a Ghostchain, like this is your website because you literally get percentage of the profits. Like, so that's why I think the value for Ghostchain is up there, and you're seeing that utility projects are really starting to thrive right now in this space too. You see Dead Pixels with their version 2 of their stuff. That's something that's going to be paying the Genesis holders. You got this free roam with Ghostchain that's going to be paying their holders that passive income. I think those are the projects that people are really looking at to kind of invest going forward. So I'm excited for what Ghostchain's got going on, because again, we hold a Ghostchain now. Thank you to the community itself for even reaching out and getting us into it. But this looks like have be integrated with NAMI wallet. It'll also, they're vetting their own process and different people to make sure, they have good projects on here. And I'm curious to see, how that'll work out. Cause I know JPEG originally started like that and then they open it up to everybody. So I'll be curious to see what they end up doing. But the website, I'm looking at it right now. And I think, anybody watching on YouTube with us it's clean, man. It's really, really clean looking.
It looks ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to listen now.
A little bit. Yeah.
And our key buzzword here, they got a metaverse. I don't know what yet that means. So I'm be curious to learn a little bit. I hadn't talked to the Discord really about that yet, but here you go. You can see like the Pikachu, the Buzz Lightyear, the different legendary ghosts here as well. And good luck picking one of those things up. They're a few thousand a piece.
If they'll even, if they'd actually,
if they'll even sell it to you, it's really tough to get these, legendaries to sell, just because people are, like you said, ghost handing, diamond handing these things. Because they truly do believe in this project. So big shout out to Ghostchain again. I know we haven't talked about them in a few episodes, but we got adopted by that community itself. It's been fun to interact with these guys.
Something about the ghosts that love us. I don't know what it is.
The ghosts, like I said,
the ghosts, the ghouls, the goblins, the wraiths. They're all around it.
Hey, speaking of the ghosts, the ghouls, the goblins, the wraiths, we got our boy. That was pretty good, right? Our boy Wraith, CNFT, we from ghost to ghost. Wraith, CNFT over here. We're big fans of haptics. Ghost to ghost, dude, come on. Haptics over here. Guy from Norway. He's the creator of Wraith, CNFT. Again, pixelated ghost kind of stuff. I was drawn to these instantly when they released back last year. And he actually won. That was one of my only like giveaway that I had ever won was one of my Wraith from him, and it was like an unsig Wraith with the background, and he melded it in with the pixel. It looked nice, and I instantly was drawn to the community. Dude was super chill. If you've watched the podcast before, like we're big fans of Wraith. He's done some awesome stuff. But his it was only like a little over 2,000 of these things that minted out there. They sold out. And then it was like, what's the utility? Where are we going next with this stuff? Well, he kind of had like a community, like the community over there is very tight knit as well. They're not, not as super active as some of the big ones, but they're very it feels like a little family over there of different people. So Wraith has been like doing these exclusives. He did like the Christmas ornament. He did like a New Year's like lucky Wraith for us. He's been doing some cool like animated stuff. But one of the things that he did, it kind of developed from the community was 3 Wraiths. Any ones that held like the little hockey sticks. If you had 3 of them, you were able to register like a team name, some team colors, and he literally minted you for free a hockey team. And the F35 boys were lucky enough to get gifted a hockey team because we only had 1 hockey stick. So he actually hooked us up and gave us 2 extra hockey guys. And the Freedom 35ers were born over here. We have our own
so cool
our own little hockey team. And he's got the animated like player card for the inaugural season, the 2021-2022. And I didn't really know what was going to happen with this, but there's so many of these right now inside of Discord and online. You can check them out. Some people have some really cool team names and colors and stuff like that. I think one of them was like the Foreskins or something, like Flapping Foreskins or something like that. Somebody had some funny names in there. So there was a hockey team, but nobody really knew what exactly that meant. But if I go up here and get you guys out of my way, the hockey team, he ended up dropping like some information about that yesterday. The hockey teams basically now have all been minted. They've been filled out. The season's currently closed, so you can't get in right now. But he's basically setting up like a tournament style for this stuff. And the way the tournament's going to work is he's going to be paying out ADA prizes. You're basically going to be drafted on your team, a random NHL team, for the next upcoming hockey season, and you're able to re-roll your hockey team one time only. If you don't like who you end up getting, like say you get one of the worst. I don't know shit about hockey either. Big soccer fan, but not a hockey guy.
Yeah, I don't know how many teams are in the league.
So he has 30 of them on there. So I'm assuming that I don't know how it works. I don't know how many hockey teams. I probably should have researched that prior to talking about this. But you're going to get an NHL team, and if that team makes the playoffs, you get a chance to make some ADA out there. So if your team makes the playoffs, you get this 15 ADA. And 5,000 of his void tokens, which he just released as well. They win different, like the President's Trophies, 30 ADA, first place, finish in last place, you get 25 ADA plus a doormat NFT. So he's big on, like, he did like a rug pull for the ADA clouds. He did like an actual Wraith, like that had like the rug on it. He's very generous and giving too. But like, so basically you're going to win. If you win the Stanley Cup, your team in this Wraith hockey league, in real life, whatever NHL team wins the Stanley Cup, you get 250 ADA plus a champion NFT based on that. And then there's a few other trophies for, like, if you have a player on your team wins one of these like individual awards, you also get some prizes and stuff too. So it'll cost you have a hockey NFT, which is minted for free. And then in order to get into the tournament, you have to pay a buy-in tournament fee of 5,000 void tokens, which are Wraith's like community token that he's developed over here. And it's the same thing actually, which he just dropped these, kind of like we were talking about with DripDropz. He's got his own void token. So you can actually go to his website right now, the CNFT.io/void token. And you can actually purchase this, and it costs 7 ADA minimum to get into this. And you can, if you want to buy more than just one transaction, it's an additional 5 ADA on top of that. And you're guaranteed at least 2,500 of these void tokens. But the void, so essentially it's like, I don't know, like 25, like 30 ADA, somewhere like that, to get the buy-in to get into the tournament for the hockey league. Funny thing about the void token too, I think when he shows up in your wallet right now, it looks like this. It's just a little Wraith with whatever this number you have. I'm sitting there, I posted like a Twitter update down, because I always shout out whatever he's doing. And I look up the next morning, like, if nobody knows or hasn't seen our past episodes, my mom, Wraith made a custom Wraith that's purple for my mom. My mom's favorite color is purple, and it was really nice. He's like, hey, I'll give your mom one. She can become the community mom for Wraith CNFT. So my mom's Twitter now is literally the picture of the Wraith CNFT, the community mom one. And she's on Twitter randomly. I don't know what she does. She just likes some random shit. She's into NFTs. I created a Yoroi now. She's got her race over there. And all of a sudden I look the next morning, I wake up and I see a response back to my post. She goes, I just bought some void. And I'm like, what awesome. The fuck? Oh, mom. I'm like, I literally commented underneath it. I was like, she's over here buying stuff on her own. I'm not even telling her what to do. And then I was like, 2022 is wild, man. Wraith is like, yo, I'm totally 100% here for this kind of stuff. So, but yeah, the void token is what you're going to need in order to get into the hockey league itself for Wraith. So
I saw the registration was closed then for this year already.
For the hockey league, for the hockey league. Yeah. Hockey league right now, the registration's closed. But if you are inside the community, he's dropping the next thing. If you have a Wraith that has like the axe, the scythe, the machete, chainsaw, any of those, you have to have 3 of those. And there's a new club that he's developing. I have no clue what that's going to do.
Well, I wish there was a way to do it like with the league, where you could do like, play those like sports games like FIFA, Madden and stuff, and you can do the simulation game. It automatically like plays for you and just automatically randomly picks a winner and a score. I wish you could do that with these hockey teams. Just kind of like play,
like simulate it.
Yeah, simulate the game, and then just randomly generates a winner.
You can see some NBA jams, like remember like NBA jams was 2v2 and stuff like that. You got like 2v2 with goalies on each side. There you go, three players, 3v3.
That'd be perfect.
Sick. Right.
I mean, not like a metaverse or anything, but just a simulation of the hockey game in a sense of like who's gonna win.
Right. I mean, it's kind of a cool, like we're all sports fans, like, 3 of us in all of our groups. So it's kind of cool to see. It's almost like the fantasy, like hockey kind of aspect. Now, right. Like I told him, I was like, I don't really watch NHL. I don't follow it at all. But now I'm about to be watching whatever our team is. Oh, God, I hope we get a good team, man. I don't even know. At least give me the Lightning, down here.
Yeah, there we go.
Give us the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Whoa, don't say
fuck the Panthers. Yeah, we do not want the Panthers. Fuck the fucking Panthers.
We can re-roll
unless you want
we can re-roll. Yo, yo, nobody knows about that shit.
Yeah, Papa John's, like 50% off or whatever.
What do they get if they win, right? You get 50% off Papa John's.
Orlando State does the same thing too for that, I think, right?
Yeah, yo, shout out Orlando City. Yo, we need to get a soccer team. There could be so many different outlets to this, but this is just like a testament to race community. Actually, I saw somebody, like, we were talking about this before, like somebody like checked out our podcast recently and like jumped into race thing. He's like, oh, I saw the F35 podcast, and he's like, I'm showing up in here just trying to figure out to buy something. And I was like, that's really cool. That
even the only time we ever saw us on Reddit was the same way. We like search for our name, and just on Reddit, so we started going to make an account to kind of spread out and have connections everywhere. And it was someone talking about Wraith. It was about our video when they had the issue with the drop, or some asshat got in there and put in a scam address or whatever, and it was like trying to fuck people over. But yeah, someone said that, and it was the same way. They saw the video and was hyping up Wraith for the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was
it's wild, like how it spreads community around, and things people get introduced to, like we were saying, you met Ken, and the amount of people even have told us where they've found new projects and stuff like that just because of the video is pretty sweet.
Well, that's becoming a little bit more and more as we grow, right? You start to see some of those instances pop up, and it's always surreal to me. And like I said, we're super appreciative for those kind of things. It's still fucking wild to me that happens. But if anything, it's awesome to make an impact on some of these other communities too, like kind of give back. Like, these guys have helped us out and help promote us in the beginning when we were small, and now as we start to grow, like same kind of, if you can give back, I think that's the Cardano community just in general. Like, everybody's very inclined to are willing to help each other.
Wants to help
for sure. Like, everybody's like, yeah, dude, I can help you out with that, or I got somebody that you should talk to, and all these different things. So I'm big on like giving back. So that's what the biggest thing is inside this community. I think that's why Cardano NFTs is in general, besides the low transaction fees and stuff, like that's why people tend to flock over here, just because it's not like that, like elitism kind of stuff. Like, this is like our club kind of thing. Like, everybody's here to help.
We've been loving seeing people like comment and give us feedback, or just say what they've been getting into or what they enjoyed. It's really cool seeing that, especially because sometimes we may not, or at least I might not engage with everyone as much as I want to. So them coming to us, kind of talking to us and letting us know what they like to see, kind of helps us then easier to respond that way. It's like, what does Hitch say? They come 90% of the way, I'll come the other 10%. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great movie. No, it's true. I would never be doing what I'm doing right now. I am on Twitter all the fucking time now. I'm in Discord. I'm chatting as much as I can. It's like I said,
I wonder if you still work, because I check Twitter like every few hours. I'm like, damn, Tommy retweeted this, he posted that, he did this, he did that.
Bro, I'm a good multitasker. I'm sitting over
sending
here
stuff in the group chat. Like, there's all the conversations I'm having in DMs and stuff, and I'm on this Twitter space in 10 minutes.
I tell you, I don't like sleep. Like, I get exhausted, man. You can even hear it in my voice. Like, I get like 4 hours of sleep sometimes, because I'm literally like, it is like working 2 jobs, like doing this and helping us grow. But I truly believe in this project and what we're doing here, just in general for the podcast. We want this thing to grow. It's just something this year I think we're really pushing towards, really seriously growing this thing, more than just being a weekly podcast for you guys to listen to, and figuring out a way for us to make an impact inside this community, not just for our own monetary gain, but for a way to help others as well, and kind of push this space forward.
Yeah, build a fun space and community. I know some people got excited about us talking about a possible Discord and stuff like that. So building kind of our own space to share this stuff is definitely an exciting prospect, especially with everything being in so early on something like Cardano, where there's so much ahead of us and so much changing each week. It's just beyond exciting.
Oh yeah. And we definitely have some big plans and things to go obviously into this year. I think one of the first things that we did, which again wanted to go ahead and share while we're sitting up here towards the back end of the podcast, was for Happy Hoppers Club. We did our first giveaway this week, but Happy Hoppers Club was the one that we had featured in, right? Let's see if we can go ahead and pull it up here while we're sitting on the screen. So Freedom 35 is our podcast this week. We did our first ever, like, kind of to kick off the year, like our first ever giveaway. And this was all, again, this actually one came out of my wallet here, but this was we weren't promoted by happy hoppers. They didn't reach out to us to promote this. This was just a strictly, you know, I want to get back. We want to get back to the community that we're building right now.
And we're big fans of the happy hoppers too.
And though. I think I just bought another one.
You guys
tonight.
are huge fans.
Yeah. Dude, I own like 15, 16 of these things. Like I just got my last plushie. Yeah, dude, I have a huge collection of happy hoppers right now. I think I can pull them. Yeah, these are my hoppers right here. All popped up. So
yeah, you just want to give some back, Tom. We actually had to have a kind of conversation because obviously it's easy to, we have a couple now after being in for a few months of projects no one really wants or wouldn't really be a real giveaway. It would kind of be like, here, get this out of my wallet. You can have it.
Take my dogs on the chain,
exactly.
bro.
Yeah, you can have. You guys can have these. I mean, we even I think discussed doing like a troll giveaway where it was almost like the Hosky giveaway, where it was like the shittiest giveaway ever. We're like, oh, here you won. Here's like 6 NFTs no one wants, and it's not even like their floor is 8. You won't. No one will buy it. Like even at 8,
it is unsellable, right? It just sits in your thing. But
so you kind of landed on happy hoppers because it's like, no, this is actually a project I like, and it would have value in someone's wallet.
Well, I like I said, I'm big on the happy hoppers. I've been pushing these things to you guys, and TJ, I know you're big on the profile pics too, and you own a couple hoppers. Tom, you know, I can still, maybe I'll convince you one day to get some hoppers over here. But I bought in finally. You know, I finally got my last plushie tonight. I think they finally sent over. So I'm big time invested in this. But we did our first giveaway too for that. So that drove a lot of traffic into this. And just for anybody watching, because by the time the podcast releases, whoever won this, so congrats. It's sitting in my wallet right here. You can see it. So it's not like some fake giveaway. It's literally in my wallet right there, and here it is. But yeah, so we did this, and crazy, like we were always, you know, about organic growth. That was like our big thing. We wanted to build a good base going into last year. And I feel like we did that. I think we were over like pushing like 340 somewhere around that time, like followers. We did this fucking giveaway over here, which has now gotten over 500 hits. Likes and stuff like that. Our follower count, where are we up to right now? 711 people.
That's crazy.
It's fucking wild. Like the giveaway.
I did not know if do that well.
Now when I see people with like over 1,000 followers on there, I'm like how many giveaways you do over there, buddy? Like
TJ,
like, what are you promoting over there?
TJ, be honest. How many of those entries is you?
Yeah, right.
Okay, well,
good for about 70.
I'll just say, Tom, you can enter right now and get a hopper.
The good thing about this stuff is that we'll use Twitter Picker. I saw somebody doing that, so I'll load it up. They'll filter it out. There's gonna be no bots. It's just legit people that'll win this stuff. So it's just part of it.
T.J.
T.J.T.T.E.
Yeah.
That's fun to say. No, so this is something that we kind of wanted to get back, just starting in our community. This is all NFTs from our own wallets. This is nothing that anybody's promoting us to do. This is just something that we wanted to get back, you know, from the space itself. So we're kind of doing this initiative every Thursday. We'll be picking a winner for this stuff. So tomorrow, we'll technically, if you're listening to this right now, it was yesterday.
I think we were talking about too, getting a wallet for us too, just the 3 of us to have an NFT wallet and stuff.
Yeah, well, the thing too with this is that we're going to be picking these things, and we're going to do this thing. We're going to call it, I guess we're calling it right now, I got it labeled as throw it back Thursday is how we're going to go with these. We're throwing it back to the community for different NFTs. So you know, the goal with this, at least for the month of January, we're going to try this out, is to at least give back to the community, but we're not going to drop you like a dog's on the chain or something that's just not worth anything at all. It'll be worth your while to come out here and do this. And this is in an effort to help get us out there to a little bit more people, because at the end of the day, you do have people out there that spam these giveaways that get a bunch of followers, and eventually something sticks and it hits. So for us, it's just about getting a little bit wider of a reach out there, and hopefully the goal is that everybody kind of stays around and, enjoys the content that we provide. So for right now, I mean, if anything, we've learned giveaways fucking work, dude. Like
people do it for a reason. I want to know, like, I wish there was research done on how many giveaways were legit and how many were just sent to like their best friend's wallet or something like that.
That's
or even get sent at all.
when you said you won that one earlier, Tom, I was gonna say, people actually win these giveaways? Because I mean, I never see the winner announced. Only time I ever saw it announced was that guy Maddie on Twitter. He posted every time someone won, which I liked seeing that. You got to see the winner.
Well,
that was
cool.
Cool.
That's the goal here for us too, right? Like these will be live, like screen recorded. We'll load everything up and put that in, so it doesn't look like we're just manipulating or doing whatever we're doing. We'll make these things legit. But yeah, the Happy Hoppers, big shout out to them. I'm a big fan of them. Wanted to go ahead and, obviously support them as well. Go ahead and give them a follow. They're up to almost 10,000 people too. They just announced a cool little thing too. Happy Hoppers. I don't know if you guys saw this today, the LilyPad Launchpad. They're working on partnering up with other projects to get whitelist spots and give them to holders of Happy Hoppers who would verify inside their Discord. As a way to give back for people who may not be able to grind XP in the Discord or things like that, and they want to get in on a hot new project. They're working on some things like that. So that was a fun little thing they announced today. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did. I saw the post. I didn't realize that's exactly what they were doing now.
Yeah.
So they post the whole thing in their Discord link. Time we're just saying,
okay. Yeah, I think Jub had posted it over there. But yeah, that was a cool little thing, like the LilyPad Launchpad. It was dope little concept. That's something new. They're working on bringing their own utility over there, and they were driven by their artwork, right? Like Udin, he's famous inside the community for doing a lot of different artwork things. And I mean, his stuff stands out. I think they had a huge sale. Their market is doing really well right now. They're one of their one-of-ones. The Angel just sold today for 6,000 ADA, which is good for them. The Hopper fam, they're strong. They're moving, dude. Like they're moving over there, which I really like. And just as a reminder, which people are, the Happy Hoppers are partnered with
Tom, you're gonna get one.
There you go. You'll have your first hopper from the Angel Baby Hit Squad drop over on Ethereum. They're doing the airdrop in Cardano.
So I'm getting my clay. It's how I'm getting my space bud.
Yep. Big shout out to them.
Angel Baby, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But Happy Hoppers, big shout out to them. I know they're working on some stuff too. So something I'm excited about. And that giveaways, who knows where we're going to go next week. I got a few different ideas, and hopefully it'll be worth some people's while on that.
Sounds like dogs on the chain's the way to go,
dude. Hey, if you want,
if you want 3 dogs on the chain,
hey, I'll donate a dogs on the chain to whoever comments. If you're listening this long, if you made it, we're at Freedom After Dark right now. It is not past midnight over here. For us now, if you made it to this far and you want a dogs on the chain, comment dogs on the chain 1, 2, or 3, and we will drop you one of those things. Just shoot us a DM. We'll honor that, no problem at all.
I will 100% honor that.
First comment,
whatever you want, man. Just we'll get you one of those dogs on the chain.
I swear, I think there was. I
first come, first serve.
Posts. People would have like the Bored Ape Yacht Club giveaways, and people would have those posts up, and the actual owners of like the ape would find like that thread on Twitter because they get directed to it or whatever and say like, this is my Bored Ape Yacht Club and I'm definitely not giving it away right now. I don't know who this person is tweeting this picture. Like, so a lot of them are just like nonsense. Oh, I bet they went crazy with followers for those. Yeah.
That's crazy to me. One of the last things actually, which I think I wanted to showcase out there is we usually talk, in the past about upcoming things that we're excited about. I feel like there's so much to digest just coming off of New Year's right now. One of the ones that at least caught my eye over here was Palz. They're a new project that's launching on January 14th at 2100 UTC. I believe for 40 ADA
next Friday.
And these guys, I don't know if anybody's a little bit familiar with Doodles over on OpenSea right now, which has an 8.75 floor. Some of this, like, I don't know if we call it like cartoony, like kind of artwork, very colorful though. Palz is kind of in that same boat with what they're doing right now, and they're a brand new drop that's coming out. Interesting enough for them, which I didn't really know, there's 8,888 of these things, and they're going to be doing animated shorts inspired by the NFTs. So I don't know if you guys remember Corn and Friends, and we talked to them doing their animated web series. I guess it's going to be kind of somewhat in some sort of similar fashion. You're going to have an animated short inspired by the NFTs, and you may have a chance to have one of your guys pop up onto the screen in one of those shorts, which that'd be kind of cool for people to do. So it's not just an NFT sale. It looks like they're going to be doing some actual web series and stuff like this, which is kind of cool. So
I'm interested to see where they go, because I mean, they definitely have that style where they could make a show out of it like that. I love the Corn idea, because their idea of making kind of an adult themed show, I was excited about. I'm still interested to see where they go with it. So this one, you said this will be a week from
This
you
will
know,
be
if you're listening
Friday.
to this show at debut on, because today we're releasing on Friday. So if you're listening to this on release day, it'll be a week from today for the drop. All right.
48 8,880 these things, and it is 48 to go down on that. So make sure you know they're doing an animated short NFT. Some
4
sort
p.m. Eastern. I just googled it.
I'm gonna look at that this weekend then, because you know my first actual purchase NFT wise for January. I need to find something to start getting going again after the break here.
And I'm excited too, because again the artwork does look clean, right? Like
I want a hot dog. It's just like it's like three people and a hot dog.
I like the beard.
Yeah, right. Sorry, I have like my window hidden right now. I just saw the hot dog over there.
Yeah, there's just like they're all people so far, and then there's just like a hot dog. Yeah,
I like that a lot.
It reminds me of the not Among Us, TJ, Fall Guys. They had like all the
costumes on.
Some of the costumes, like there's just like a hot dog just running around.
I love that right there. So
we gotta play Fall Guys one night.
Yeah, we gotta do that again for sure,
dude. Well, that part
Freedom 35ers Fall Guys.
That partners back with what do you call it, with what some of this stuff. I know we're working on a roadmap right now, guys. I don't know if you guys give a little inside info. We're working on our little version of a roadmap, mainly like a calendar, if you want to call it that, of our different things that we have going on throughout the month. But I think what we're talking about doing, and I think launching in next week, we're going to start to kind of ramp some of that marketing. I think we're going to play our way into some Twitter space, like hosting a bi-weekly, I think is what we're originally thinking right now for a Twitter space. I think Freedom After Dark. I still like the name on that, dude. I don't know, like I suggested for fun. Everybody's got like CNFT this, CNFT that, and it's like, I mean, I wanted to do the CNFT, but I saw somebody had that already at one point, and I don't want to jock their style on that, even though I think it's a fun one. But Freedom After Dark, I don't know. It sounds kind of like a Skinamax, like porno. I don't know.
I was thinking Skinamax, CNFT Max.
Man. Dude, so I think we're gonna start possibly doing those on Thursday nights, time to TBD on that, and maybe around like 8 p.m. Eastern, somewhere around that. Maybe for like an hour. Maybe get some new projects and different people in there to kind of come co-host, learn, and it'll be a good way for us to start to live interact with a lot of our audience and listeners and stuff, and get a chance for you guys to chat live with us instead of it just being through Twitter. Ask us questions, just shoot the shit kind of thing. Maybe we'll run a YouTube live stream of some of that stuff to keep them recorded, just some fun things like that. And then possibly in between, I know we're talking too, possibly doing like a game night on the other Thursday, rotating like game nights with our community. We're big gamers over here too. So if you guys are looking to play a little Rocket League, maybe a little Call of Duty, whatever you want to do, we're all about that as well. So we have some stuff in the works over here for Freedom 35. So again, if you made it this far down into the podcast, thank you guys for watching. Thank you to all the new followers out there. I hope some of you guys are listening and we've retained some of you guys. And it's not just the giveaways that keep you guys here, but
I hope you actually enjoy and, get involved and enjoy the content.
Yeah. And I think
stay cool, stay focused. Frankenstein, have fun with your friends.
Frankenstein, have fun with your friends. Oh God, that's such a good movie. We're a lighthearted kind of like podcast, right? Like we like to have fun over here, or just normal fucking people over just minting this stuff. We don't claim to be experts on anything, but I feel like we got a pretty good a good view of like the average CNFT like community member over here, right? And we get to talk about it here on this podcast. So if you guys next week, I think Thursday, we'll go ahead and we'll start announcing some of that stuff. We're going to put out our next giveaway as well. That one should be fun as well. Get some more engagement into this side of stuff, and then see where the rest of this thing goes, man. I'm just excited for this year. This year is going to be it's going to be a fun one, regardless whether the podcast or not does well. We started to position ourselves, I think, pretty well inside of CNFT space itself, and it's fun to see it taking off and not tanking right at the beginning of the year, right?
Oh yeah,
it's been a positive start so far. So yeah, just hopefully, it's not gonna be straight uphill climb the whole way, but bounce back and forth. But it's nice to see it start off strong, and hopefully people made some money to get a good foundation, get ready for the rest of the year here.
Yeah, and we're over here partnering up with Samsung Cardano. Sam used to be his son. Samsung.
Big ass phone.
Giant ass phone. Is that a television or a phone?
Freedom 35ers, baby.